All right, guys, I'm out here on High Rock Lake. I wanted to show you something new that I have. I mounted two LVS 34 live scopes. I've got one on the starboard side that runs perfectly perpendicular with the boat, and I have the port side that runs the same. So what we've got now is live side scan. So that is one good thing that you can do with these brakes, besides stop your boat on a dime, self-deploy, variable speed, forward and reverse. It's got an actual juice box system that controls the brakes. So it doesn't have a relay on it to burn out like some of the other brake systems out there. It actually has a computer board that is almost like your VFD on a motor or a soft start to ramp it up. I mean, it's made for this application, and man, it's great. Also, if you want to get a set of those brakes, go to franticfishing.com, place your order. Use discount code STONE5 and you will get a very good discount. Also, if you don't want to buy them on the internet, you got questions, you can call Franticfishingproducts. Tell them you saw the brakes on Stan Stone Fishing YouTube channel, that you have a code STONE5. Remember, use the code. I want to show you the setup that I've got, and we'll turn the big engine on and we'll troll around and see what we can see with our live side scan. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe, like. I've got the LVS 34 mounted, one on each one. We'll go ahead and take our remote and we'll raise them up. I'll show you what they look like and then we'll deploy them again. What we're going to do now is we'll go ahead and get them back in the water, and we'll get the big engine turned on. We'll idle around and we'll see what this live scope does mounted on the Frantic Fishing boat brakes. We'll get the big engine turned on and right around here. What's neat about this is I've got two 8616 XSVs. These are great units, by the way. And I've got this live scope says, I've got it named LVS 34 starboard. I've got LVS 34 port labeled on that side. So anything on this graft is on your right. Anything on this graft is going to be on your left. We'll go ahead and get this put in gear. And right there's bait just off on our port side. Look at all that bait. There's a lot of birds flying around in here. I don't know if you can see. Look here. I'm actually out here at the number 8 Southmont number 8 wildlife boat ramp area. I'm just right out from where you put in at. I haven't done any fishing here in a while. I've had my boat down doing some rewiring of my electronics, and I'll show you that here in a little bit. right there, there's one fish. Let's just see if we got something in here. Now what's good about these, and the reason why I wanted them, is so I could go into the areas that I think they are, get off plane, and be able to look around without having to go up on the patrolling motor and then, okay, there is nothing, put everything back up again and come back to the seat and crank back up. So that's why I got these. There's bait, we just went by. Now what we could do if we wanted, we could go here to options and we could go to sonar setup. We could go to noise reject and we could set that at low, or let's just say medium if we want to. See if we can clear up some of the interference. Like I said, the interference isn't that bad at all. The reason why I don't like turning that stuff on is it slows everything down. I prefer to have everything running as fast as it'll run, is what I prefer. So we're coming into, we got some, those aren't crappie, guys. Those are moving around there too fast. I'm gonna just kind of stop here because I'm seeing a lot of activity. I'm seeing this. We got some fish out here at 60 to 70 feet out away from us. You know what would be neat if there was a way to mirror these Garmins? Like if we could have the live scope pointing that way, or have a way to flip the screen, and there's no way. I've tried, I've looked, and I cannot find a way to do that. So look at that. There's a brush pile right over here, just right on the right side of our boat there. Just popped up. Oh, there it is. Just got it. Slow down here just a little bit. There's a bunch of bait, big balls of bait. There's fish. Actually, I've seen a lot of fish in here. Probably would be a good place to catch us a few. We may pick up a rod here if we have some time. Try to Let's get turned around. Go right back through here again. I know those guys, there's some guys right over there on us to come up here to start fishing. I don't want to disturb them, but I think we're far enough away from them from what they're gonna do. They look like they're bass fishing. Here, I tell you, we got lots of bait in here and lots of birds. There's a big bait ball. See all those birds over there, all swimming over there. They're all getting bait. We've got a lot of bait over here. There's a big old bait ball right there. Pretty neat, huh? Okay. There's all those birds swimming around in that area diving for bait. So we might ride over just here a little bit and just see if we can see what they're looking at. Look at all that bait. That's why they're over there, guys. Look at that. All them birds are over there. See them there diving for bait? That's why. There's a lot of bait in here. Guys, looks like we have a brush pile. There's that brush pile, I believe, that we went back over earlier. Let's see, there is some fish in that brush pile. I don't see many. There's some right there. There's a tree out there. There's some fish in it. It's right over here on our port side. Going back again, going forward, and see if we can get in that tree. Slow down here. There's that tree. Look at that. There's that tree. Tell you, man, this is the way to go. Get you a set of Frantic Fishing Outlaw Shorties and mount you a couple live scopes on sides of them, man. I mean, that is great. I mean, I'm loving it. All right, let me show you what settings I'm using. All right, let's go into options. We've got gain at 70, depth at 30, forward at 75, sonar setup, appearance, color scheme amber, color gain 80, color limit 10, trails off, bottom fill off. We've got noise reject off, ghost reject off, TVG off. Let's go to installation. Install depth is 1.0. I won't mess with that. I typically do mess with this if up on the bow units when I'm trying to see my jig. I usually will set this at 1.5, 1.25 number for that. But since we're not using these for fishing, we're using these for hunting units, I'm gonna leave it there. We've got, let's see, orientation. I don't put that at auto. I usually set it where I want to always use it at, which I got to set it forward. Let's see what else we got. Overlay data. You can see, you know, that most of this stuff, depth, water's on, voltage, I like to show. I like to show the speed. Let's go to layout. I've got the grid overlay off, reverse range. I always set that at minimum, always do. I don't care about seeing much behind the boat, so that's usually set there. I believe that's all my settings. Now, typically, I'm constantly playing with the gain. I will run that gain as low as 65 and as high as 75, depends. I normally leave this at 75 when I'm searching for crappie. The gain does, you know, change based off water conditions and things, and also I tend to run mine hot. I don't care about having a real pretty screen. I really, you know, am concerned about having the most detail. So a lot of times if you look at my screen, you're going to see a lot of stuff going on, but it's set at the highest sensitivity you can. And with all the ghost reject and noise reject and all that stuff off, the screen runs much faster. When you start turning that stuff on, yes, it clears up the screen, but it also slows everything down. So like if you drop down on a fish, you might miss the fish because it's like it's in slow motion the more that you turn that stuff on. But anyway, that's my settings. Now, let me show you guys what I did on my electronics. Is I put a dedicated 120 amp hour ionic deep cycle that's a cranking battery actually there, and I also put another tray in for a additional battery if needed. I'm gonna just look at the app and see how many amp hours this stuff takes, you know, running everything. I've got 2 of the Ethernet port boxes because everything's Etherneted. I've got 2 of the black boxes that I've got a LVS 62 on the bow, on the RS1 Revolution Sonar system on the trolling motor, and I've got a forward-facing LVS 34 as well on it. Everything comes into here except for the 2 black boxes for the units that are mounted on the crappie brakes. Now, I've got a charger in here for this, and I ran a heavy-duty wire all the way back to the stern to plug that in. And I also have another wire that's tied into the cranking battery, the other 125 amp hour Ionics battery that I have for my cranker. I just haven't got it hooked up to there because I want to have some switches, because I don't want to have anything connected to any of the running batteries, just so I don't have interference. That's the only reason that I would do that. I've got all the NEMA coming in here, Ethernet. The only thing that is mounted back here in one of the rear compartments is those 2 LVS 34 boxes, and I'll show those to you right here. Let's get in there, get this opened up, and I'll show you what I got. Now, there's some stuff in here. I know somebody's gonna say them's gonna get hot or whatever. They could, I don't know. If they do, I'll move some stuff. I've got plenty of room in this boat. But right now, here's where I've got these two LVS boxes mounted in here. I've ran the transducers run from the Frantic fishing brakes to here. Then I've got the power and the Ethernet running into that center box. That way it's still on dedicated power. And I've got, as you can see, there's two of those units in there. That's how I've done it. All right, show you what I got going on back here. I've got 3 of the 50 amp hour Ionic trolling motor batteries. I've got the Ionic's 125 amp hour starting battery, which is the same that's in that center compartment I'm running all my graphs on. This is the wiring that I made up for that charger to charge that one battery. So I just lay it in there. And then here's the 4-bank charger wire for all these batteries. I just kind of lay that in there. And let me show you this. Okay, that's the 100 amp breaker for the brakes. I've got them off right now because I'm not fishing. So, but that's the disconnect or the for the brakes to turn those on. Right, and right here is your disconnect for your up and down on the actuators on the brakes. That's the remote control box. And there is the Frantic fishing juice box. I've got it mounted right there. The trolling motors plug in here to the juice box. Very easy to install.